So, the University of Alberta does acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, and we respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. And now you may ask yourself, why would I choose nursing? Well, there's many great reasons to choose nursing. So nurses work firsthand within the healthcare system. And while most choose to work face to face with patients, the opportunities for where you can take your nursing career are endless. And regardless of which path you choose, you are making a difference in the quality of life and patients. Um, and nursing is a highly respected profession with plenty of employment opportunities all around the world. And as the title states here, our nursing program at the U of A is ranked #1 in Western Canada, and it's actually among the top nursing programs nationally and internationally. And we do have award-winning faculties in both teaching and research. And now you might also be wondering, why would I choose the after degree at the U of A? So, as you might know, if you already have completed a degree, but you're not really sure how it translates into a career, by completing the after degree program, you can graduate as an RN and have a clear, highly employable career path. And as mentioned, U of A has one of the best nursing programs in Western Canada, offering a hands-on interactive learning framework. And the after degree program at the U of A also allows for students to utilize their unique talents, critical and analytical thinking, as well as expand their education. And with the after degree, students are able to access various opportunities that obtaining a nursing degree has to offer, such as clinical roles in hospitals, community, research, education, leadership, and management. And located on our North Campus, we actually have 6 learning labs with state-of-the-art simulation centers for an immersive learning experience. So we actually have multiple simulated human patients, which range from newborns to adults. Each simulated patient has their own social history, blinking eyes, heart, lung, and bowel sounds, and they can actually respond to the care students are providing them. We also have one that actually can simulate live birth. And with these realistic environment, it provides a safe learning experience for high-risk clinical skills and settings. And it ensures that students are as prepared as possible when you're entering a real clinical setting. And as you can see here, we have our high fidelity simulation suite in this picture here. And the first year of this degree consists of laying foundational knowledge and clinical placements, with placements a consistent part of both years in the program. So if you are admitted into this program, you actually start your clinicals in the winter semester of your first year. And these clinical placements do allow students to put their nursing theory and skills into practice through a set of rotation of clinical experiences. And they also have a 1:8 instructor to student ratio to offer students with the best learning environment. And rural placements do allow you to gain more nursing experience in a variety of areas. So I've heard that students were actually placed in Edson and Hinton this year, which Edson is about 2 hours, I believe, west of Edmonton. I grew up in a small town close to Edson, so it's very familiar to where I grew up. And then Hinton is also like on your way to Jasper if you're familiar with that area. So they're quite a bit of a distance from Edmonton, and they're also quite rural, but as you can see here, there's a lot of quotes from our alumni students, and they kind of describe these rural placements as one of the best things they could have possibly done. They were placed in supportive nursing environments, they gained broader perspectives, and the rural placements provided them with opportunity to rotate through various specialty areas. So you might also kind of be wondering about the career opportunities with this program. And given this program and the clinical experience that you gain throughout your degree, the U of A nursing graduates are highly employable. And by graduation, many nursing students already have a range of clinical experience in a variety of settings, allowing for significant connections and networking opportunities. And while many go into the medical fields for nursing, there are several other fields that nurses can go into, such as management, public health, policy, nursing education, research, and all the list of careers on this page as well. And this is another picture from our nursing simulation lab. And now I'm going to kind of go over the two after degree program options that we do offer. So to start here, we have just our Bachelor of Nursing after degree program. So students entering through this program pathway, you already have a recognized and undergraduate degree, or you're on your way to complete one, and you will be able to complete this degree in 2 years. This program is only offered through our North Campus in Edmonton. And this is also a very important page I want everyone to remember. And if you do have questions about this later on, just please let us know. But you do need a bachelor's degree. You do need a minimum GPA of a 3.0. And there are prerequisite courses that you do need to obtain before admission into this program. So these courses are English, statistics, and then these three specific courses, you have to take them within 5 years. So human anatomy, human physiology, and medical microbiology, those all have to be taken within 5 years of the program start date. And you also have to receive a minimum of a C plus grade. English and stats, you can take them whenever, and if you get like a D in them, like those will still be accepted. Of course, it's always good to shoot for a higher grade, but for those, they don't have any restrictions, whereas the other courses do. And I know some of you might be wondering, like, where can I go to check out what courses I need? We do actually have a really good web page. If you just look up U of A Nursing After Degree Prerequisites page, it'll come up. It'll give you a list of all the prerequisite courses that we have approved and where you can take them. So it not only offers you courses at the U of A, but there's also other institutions within Edmonton that you can take them from. And then we have our Bachelor of Nursing After Degree Honors. So the After Degree Honors is actually one of the only nursing programs to offer an honors component in Canada. And to be eligible for this program, students do have to have a 3.5 GPA or higher. And with this program, it also allows students to gain in-depth research skills, build their network, prepare them for graduate school, and students will be able to be mentored and supported by a research or a faculty of nursing researcher. And this program is designed to be taken over 2 years, just like the other after degree program. But with approval, students can have up to 3 years to complete the requirements for this program. Same for the other after degree program. And normally, students who do not complete this program within 3 years will be required to withdraw. So if you do need to take an extra year, you will have to ask the faculty. But if you have to take more, then you might be asked to withdraw. So it's always good to try and complete it within the 2 years. And the Casper test. This is an important part of applying to this program. It is a requirement. A quick note about this Casper test is this is a 90 to 110 minute online open response situational judgment test. Student applications will not be assessed until they have completed the Casper assessment and the university has received their results. So as it's stated here, like you have to complete this first before your application will be assessed. And once they receive this, then they will assess your application. And to complete this assessment, you can head to acuityinsights.com to book your assessment. We also do have a Casper test webpage as well. Great webpage that has a lot of information. If you just look up Casper test nursing, faculty of nursing, that should come up and it'll give you more information about this as well. And just a quick note too, students who self-declare as First Nations, Métis, or Inuit on the application will not be required to complete a Casper assessment. And the Casper actually opened this year on September 26th. And then the last assessment date, if you have applied or you're planning on applying, is May 1st. And here we have some student testimonials from students who have been involved in the after degree program as well as the honors program. So as you can see here, Ben believes that the after degree program allowed him to explore different fields of nursing. He believes that there's an area of nursing for any personality type. He even stated that he is looking forward to moving back to his hometown so he can assist in a rural hospital in long-term care and emergency. And as for Jackson, they believed that the honors program allowed him to get a fair amount of autonomy in the program so they could learn to stand on their own feet. They learned to analyze, reflect on, and write about articles and research methods. Everyone in the program is capable and competent, and they were able to learn through trial and error, and they were given the space to learn from their mistakes. So these are some great student testimonials that we have here. Now you might be wondering, how do I apply? So there are a few steps to applying that I do want to highlight. Applications are open currently. They opened October 1st and they do close March 1st. And students should apply in the year that they will be completing all of their prerequisites by the end of the winter term. So by the end of April, you should have all those prerequisite courses done. One final deadline that I want to make sure everyone is aware of is June 15th, which is our document deadline. So this is the final date that you are allowed to submit outstanding documents, which would include official transcripts and English proficiency requirements as well. And first step is to choose your campus. Of course, with this program, you would only choose the North Campus. So that's where you would choose the campus is North Campus. And then finding your program, you would choose this program if you're looking to apply. With this, you can also, if you do have any questions and things like that after, we also do offer advising. Myself and my coworker offer nursing advising. So if you're looking at getting an advising appointment, you can do so at uab.ca/advising. And then if you're interested in learning more about the averages of the programs, you can see them at uab.ca/averages. Of course, it's like a 3-year trend of the averages that we have. And of course, if you receive this average, it won't guarantee admission, but it's still a good place to be. So it's definitely a good thing to check out. And then if you do want to learn more about any of our other programs as well, you can check out our video library at uab.ca/on-demand. And we do encourage you to apply as early as possible. It's competitive and it's a space in each space in our programs can be limited, so you can definitely submit your application as early as October 1st. And applying early will allow us to evaluate your application multiple times if required. So when you go to apply, be sure to read all of the instructions carefully so you submit all the required information in order for us to evaluate your application. And yeah, you can apply, please, and also please make sure you apply directly on our website. uab.ca/apply is the best place to apply. And you might be wondering, well, how am I going to be evaluated? So, um, for admission purposes for the after degree program, we are looking for the average from the most recent transferable 24 credits. So you will need a minimum of a 3.0 to apply to this program, and your grade 12 marks will not be considered. So applications are assessed on an ongoing basis, and they will reassess your application when they receive new information from you. And if you do have more questions about this as well, feel free to go to the uab.ca/the calendar. It will kind of explain more information about this as well. And then once you have submitted your application, be sure to check your U Alberta Launchpad portal regularly for any updates regarding your admission status or to provide additional information if required. This is our main method for communicating with you, and it is your responsibility to be checking it regularly. So you also will get access to your very own U of A email account, which you should also check regularly for important information and reminders. And if you do receive a mission offer, you will see this on your Launchpad portal. We want to make sure that you accept it. So be sure to read your offer letter carefully for any conditions that you might meet and to see the and you also will see the deadline which you can accept it by. Most students will have a deadline of May 1st to accept the offer. And as part of the acceptance process, you will need to pay a non-refundable tuition deposit to secure your spot if you want to let us know that you're going to attend. Keep in mind that this deposit will go towards your fall tuition. And once you've accepted your offer, you will have access in the spring to start planning your first year of classes. So to help you with this, we host actually a number of Registration 101 workshops, which I will be running a couple of those. So it'll help you guide through the registration process and help you select the right classes for your program, which this program is quite structured. So a lot of the courses are already picked out for you, which is really nice, but it's still might be good to attend this if you aren't really familiar with Bear Track. So keep your eye out on, like, there's going to be an email sent out soon for the spring, and you can also, for more information, feel free to visit at uab.ca/reg101. And after you apply, please make sure to check out your Launchpad. It'll show you all the information that's required of you, any deadlines, things like that. Feel free to go to uab.ca/app just to give you more information about after you apply. And that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the presentation today. I know it was a bit quicker than we might have thought, but if you do have any other questions after this, feel free to email us, nursing.recruiting@ualberta.ca. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. And if you also just want to learn more about the nursing program in general, feel free to check out the nursing webpage at uab.ca/nursing. And then if you can scan that QR code, you can sign up to receive more information, event alerts, and updates. All right. I'm
Awesome.
gonna stop sharing my screen here.
For sure. Now we're going to jump into our Q&A session. So you may see on the bottom row of your screen there, there's a Q&A option. You can feel free to type any questions that you may have in that Q&A section, and then we will go through each of them one by one.
Yeah, that first one here. That's a great question. Let's see here. Is it possible to gain your nursing diploma and use that diploma to enter the embalm field? Right. Personally, I actually don't know too much about the embalmer field or mortician field. If you do want to send us an email about that, I can definitely try and find that information for you. But with this program, it wouldn't be a diploma, you would be getting a bachelor's degree. And can you go into medicine? Yeah. With medicine, you can have any undergraduate degree from what I'm aware of. But I do find students can go in, like they do nursing and then they do apply to medicine after. So yeah, with medicine, you can apply with any undergraduate degree. If you want to do the nurse practitioner program. Also, also a great question. Unfortunately, I don't have too much knowledge about the nursing practitioner program just because it is a master's program. But they do have a webpage that you can go to. If you do want to email us too, again, I can provide that information to you. But they do have a webpage with all of their requirements and information on as well. But this is definitely a good pathway to go into the nurse practitioner program for sure. Perfect. As I'm supposed to submit my final transcript by June 15th as a current UVA student. Yes, if you're currently a UVA student, they will have access to your transcripts, no problem at all, as long as you make sure your prerequisite courses are on that transcript. And if you're graduating like this winter, I guess, or this spring, like it should show that you have a degree awarded. Just make sure that you apply for graduation and that you actually receive your degree, but it should be on your transcript. And I'm a French speaker. Yes, you can take the Casper test in French. That is an option. Oh, this is also a great question. I know it's quite subjective, honestly, the Casper test. There isn't like a set grade. Unfortunately, like they don't do like a percentage. It's just the test, like the scores are different every single year. So unfortunately I can't give you like an expected grade, but if you do want, I do there is a prep test that you can do to help you prep for it. If you just type in Casper prep test, it should be the first link to show up, but that can help you prep for it. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have like a grade that I can share with you. It just they kind of score it based on, with everybody else, essentially. Yes. So as I did mention it in the presentation, your high school grades are not going to be considered, so that's no worries. And it doesn't matter what undergrad degree you have. You just need to have an undergrad degree that's recognized by the U of A. Yeah, so if you currently applied and you're taking 15 credits in the winter, which adds and 9 this fall, if you had applied already, yes. So the most recent 24 would be this winter and your fall. So they would be looking at that. They need to make sure that you have the degree, but like the AGPA assessment will be on the most recent 24 credits. I won't finish my prerequisite until spring, which is June 11th. Do you advise I still go on with the admission process or wait till 2026 admission? Yeah, unfortunately, just because the deadline is June 15th, um, like I don't know if you'll be able to guarantee that you'll get like your official grade on your transcript by then. My best advice to you would probably be to apply for the 2026 admission, just because at this time I can't guarantee that they will accept anything after June 15th. Sometimes they do extensions, but at this time there isn't any that I'm aware of. So just to be safe, yeah, I would probably recommend applying in the 2026 admission. So if you have all your prerequisites already, like you can apply October 1st, no problem. Awesome. And then if I got accepted to the after degree program and accepted the offer, do I only have to maintain a certain GPA and make sure all of my prerequisites are completed? Yeah, so if you got accepted and you have like a certain GPA, say if you hypothetically say if you get like a 3.5 or whatever, I would definitely make sure you kind of stick with the GPA that you applied with. And then yeah, you just need to make sure that you have all your prerequisites completed and that you have a bachelor's degree or you're in completion of getting the bachelor's degree. You just have to make sure that you have it on your transcript. Oh, I think I lost the right here. There we go. Suppose I apply next year, fall, September, for example, and have not fulfilled all the prerequisites but has taken the Casper test. Would they still review my application, or will they wait for me to finish all those prerequisites to review my application? Yeah, so they will wait to make sure you have those prerequisite courses. So like they reassess all the time. So once you provide new information, they will reassess, but they do want to make sure that you have those prerequisite courses. So if you're currently like if you were going to take them in the fall and the winter, for example, like they would wait to see those courses.
I'm just gonna jump in here and
Yeah,
take
do it.
this one. The
Sure.
question was, how long does it take to do the nursing after degree? And for most students, it's going to take 2 years. You are able to extend it to a third year, but you do need faculty permission if you are planning on extending it past the 2 year mark. Yeah, so I can jump in, take this one again, just to clarify everything here. If you are applying to the nursing after degree program, the way that we are going to assess your application is based off your AGPA, which is done through your most recently completed 24 credits. So typically that is 8 courses at a half year long length. Um, and based off those 8 courses, we're going to determine your GPA and whether it is competitive for admission.
Any other questions you feel like answering, Teo, or do you want me to jump in?
You can jump in. I'll just jump in at different points throughout the.
Perfect. If you were to receive a conditional, say if you applied like in the fall, if you were to receive a conditional acceptance, um, they would look at your previous grades to start, just because if you don't have those grades, like for example, you're applying in the fall, you're not going to have your grades completed yet, so they would look at the most recent 24 from back then. But say if you applied right now, they may look at the fall and then they'll look at your winter upcoming, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know the 24 credits is kind of confusing, but yeah, it's the most recent 24 credits. So that could be 4 and 4 classes, 5 and 3, whatever makes up 8 credits in total. And the most recent, that's what they're going to assess. And they constantly reassess once you give them more information. So, um, Yeah, my GPA is in point 0.5. How it will be converted to point 0.4. Yeah, so this is something that our admissions team does, so do not worry. I know there's a lot of other schools that have different grade point averages, so that is something that our admissions team and faculty will take on when you apply. So don't worry about how that will be converted. That's something they will do. You can also look on our website as well. There's kind of a page that explains like how we have our grades assessed and everything and like the grade point average, so you can definitely check that out as well. Oh, yes, sorry. I let me reread your question here. I've written my Casper test and I'm currently enrolled for my prerequisite. Will I get an admission offer before I finish my prerequisite or till? It really depends. If you're considered competitive, they may offer you admission and then they'll just wait to make sure that. Oh, sorry, Teo, I missed the rest of that question. Sorry. Okay. Yes. So if you're currently completing your prerequisites, that's totally fine. Um, And if they do offer you admission, that might mean that you're competitive, but does Swifty though? Yeah. So essentially, yes. So you may be offered admission if you're seen as competitive. If not, then they will reassess once they give you new information. That makes sense here.
I'm gonna jump in and take another question if that's
Yep.
all good. So the question is, you have a master's degree in public health back in 2017, and you completed all the prerequisite subjects in 2009. So is it possible to submit your file with these subjects? Um, Unfortunately, it's not going to be possible to submit all of those subjects. So while our English credit and our statistics credit do not expire, you do need to have completed the human anatomy, human physiology, and medical microbiology within 5 years of the start date of your program. So if you completed them in 2009, you might need to refresh those courses because they are it is an ever evolving field, and you just need the most up to date knowledge because it is required for the first year of the after degree program.
Perfect. And what will the honors project be like? I applied for the honors stream, but it does not say anything on the U of A website. Yeah, this is also a great question. Unfortunately, I don't have too much information about the honors project in specific. This is more of a faculty-based question, but if this is something you do want more information on too, like I can definitely reach out to them and ask them about that. This is a great question. I have done my LPN program from Norquest and graduated in 2021. So would anatomy and physiology courses be counted towards my prereq for after degree? Also, I've done my bachelor degree back home in commerce in year 2012. Yeah, unfortunately, with Norquest, from what I've been told by the faculty, the anatomy and physiology courses aren't as detailed as the U of A, so unfortunately you will have to retake the anatomy and physiology courses. But you do have a bachelor's degree, so that's great. So if you've taken an English and stats course, like that will be no problem. But yeah, you'll definitely have to retake the anatomy and physiology courses, unfortunately.
I'll jump in again here.
Sure.
So again, touching on those 24 credits, the transferable credits. The question is whether it's pulled from just your previous degree or the prerequisites. So the answer is we take it from the most recently completed 24 credits. Now, please note you do need a minimum grade of a C plus in human anatomy, human physiology, and medical microbiology for us to consider your application. But your GPA, your AGPA, is going to be calculated on your most recently completed 24 credits in your previous degree, typically.
Perfect. How is the nursing market for new nurses? From what I've heard is very good. I've heard like a lot of people have had success finding jobs, especially with our programs. Like, there is quite a success rate. Um, I do have family members who have been in these programs before and they've had no issues finding a job. Of course, we do love if students do go rural just because kind of need more of that support out there. So if that's something you're looking into as well, rural wise, probably would not have a problem finding a job in a rural or even outside of Edmonton as well. But yeah, no, that's a great question. Some challenging factors that you might encounter while achieving the nursing bachelor's degree. Yeah, From what I've heard, that it's quite a tough program. Like it is, you do have clinicals, you are doing long rotations, things like that. So as expected with this type of profession, like, you have to be on your feet, you have to be solving problems, you just have to be ready for any type of situation. So, that might be something that might be di more difficult for others. But this program will definitely give you that experience for when you actually become a real registered nurse. Yeah, if you got accepted in November 29th and accepted your offer, yes. So to hold your spot, essentially, you do have to pay your deposit, and you have generally until May 1st, unless you have a letter that states otherwise. But essentially, yeah, this deposit will essentially like hold your seat, I guess. But don't worry, like this money doesn't just disappear. Like this will go towards your fall tuition. So yeah, definitely you'll have to pay to confirm it for sure. Yeah, so you got a letter on October 30th saying my application is active, but they cannot offer me at this time. What does that mean? Does this mean that I will need to wait until winter term? Yeah, so essentially at this time they're like you might not be seen as competitive enough, but it might t like it should say in your letter there, but essentially yes, they're just going to wait for more information from you to see if your winter term grades are more competitive. So yeah, definitely wait for an update on that once you get your grades submitted there. But yeah, essentially like you're just kind of on hold right now, and then they'll update you once they receive new information from you.
But your application is not going to be assessed without the Casper test because it is a requirement for the program. Now, how the score actually plays in to the admission decision, I believe is something that typically admissions is going to handle. So I'm not sure if that's
Yes.
100% something that we have that information for. But I do know that it is a requirement for the program. So you do need to take it before your application will even be assessed by our admissions team.
Yeah, like it's very crucial. So I will say it's a big part of the admission process. Like we said, like your application won't be assessed until that score is in. So yeah, it's definitely a big factor into applying to this program, I would say. And then if I got accepted into regular nursing after degree, can I still apply to the honor stream? Do I have to retake the Casper test? Yeah, so for this question here, if you do want to apply to the honor stream, you can, like you would just have to send in a separate application for that. If you have taken the Casper test this year already, so just so everyone is aware, if you take a Casper test during an admission cycle, for example, if you've taken it in the 2024-2025 admission cycle, you do not have to take it again. It can be used for more than one application. Um, but it can only be used for this admission cycle, for example. But say if you apply in the 2025-2026 admission cycle, you will have to retake it. It can only be used for one admission cycle, if that makes sense. Perfect. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to let us know right now if you want, or you can also feel free to send us an email, nursing.recruiting@ualberta.ca. Yeah, I apologize about some of those questions you guys asked were so awesome, and I wish I had the answers to them, but unfortunately they are more kind of faculty, whereas we are both just recruitment, but I can definitely find out some of those answers for you if you do want. Yeah, feel free to send us an email and I will gladly help you out there. Yeah, how much will all of this cost? So this really depends. Kind of if you're a domestic student or if you're international, you can definitely check out our cost calculator. It's just yeah, it's Teo, if you want to send it in the chat there. Yeah, so Teo's going to send the cost calculator here. So just so you're aware as well, um, there is only the like collaborative program cost calculator, but the cost will be quite the same. There might just be a little bit less because you've taken some of the prerequisite courses already, but look at the undergraduate collaborative program cost calculator there, and that kind of will reflect the cost of the program.
Okay, I can pick a question here. So what's the main differences between the just general nursing program and the nursing after degree program? I think the biggest difference for me is generally just the time commitment. So the nursing after degree program is a bit more of a condensed degree. So it takes 2 years to complete the nursing after degree program, whereas our regular nursing program for undergraduates is going to take 4 years. And throughout that period, you're going to take all of the prerequisite courses and all of that in that period. But with the nursing after degree program, it's more expected that you already have those courses done, those pre-professional courses.
Perfect. Thanks, Taylor. Is there a certain amount of seats in the program? There isn't like, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to this. There isn't like a set number of seats, for example. I know there are quite a lot, so it's not like a super, super small program. So there is space, but unfortunately, I don't have a number of the select amount of seats. But it's not like, yeah, like some programs have certain amount of seats, but unfortunately, I don't have an answer to how many seats there are. But I know there's space available. How do I book a virtual? Yeah, so at this time, we only offer virtual advising. And if you do want to book an advising appointment, you can book it at uab.ca/advising. And then Tail will also send it in the chat there. Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm just gonna I have a link I want to send everybody as well, just to address one of these questions. Okay, for those of you who are just curious about like how do you actually become a registered nurse and things like that and like work, I'm going to send in our chat here a link to our webpage that has career opportunities in nursing. So you can kind of look if you're curious about like where do I go after I complete my degree. So definitely check out this link here. Also a great question. Just so like also everyone's aware, this is a full-time program. So if there is a way for you to find work and to work while doing this program, that's awesome. But at this time, yeah, it definitely depends on your schedule. So if you find that you can work during the program, that's great. But just so you're aware, like it is a full-time program and you do have courses that you have to take in the spring and summer sometimes, depending on the schedule. But yeah, it's definitely dependent on like what your schedule looks like. Perfect. All right. There's some benefits and drawbacks you get from completing the program. Well, benefits for sure. It is only a 2-year program, so you will have a full nursing degree within 2 years, plus whatever other degree you already have. So you'll have 2 degrees under your belt. And you can definitely check out that careers page for all of the information of like careers and things like that. Drawbacks, possibly. Again, me and Teo are recruiters, so I haven't personally been in the nursing program. I just recruit for the nursing program, so I definitely get more of this information from the faculty. But from what I know, like the drawbacks might just be the workload. Like as you might know, nursing is a very hard and like it's a tough career to do, but it is worth it. And a lot of people, you do good things for people, and it makes you feel good. But it is a hard program to do. It is a hard career. So it can get exhausting at times, but if you feel that, this is something you want to do, you want to help people, then, it'll make it all kind of worth it. Yeah, so if you're taking courses right now, in the winter, yes, they will wait until your winter term grades are out and then they will reassess. So they will wait for your grades, constantly reassessing. So yes, they will wait for your winter grades, and then reassess your application. Yeah. Co-op pay internship. Let me find some information on that. So this is I will also just share this with everybody. This is the clinical placements website. Um, Unfortunately, from what I am aware of, it's not like a paid internship, but I know sometimes they do. There are opportunities for that. I'm just not 100% sure with these clinical placements if they are. This webpage will definitely shed more light on that, and I'm gonna share that information for you. Um, yeah, so the clinicals would essentially be kind of like the co-op or the internship, but I'm not 100% sure if they are paid or not. I know like practicums and stuff generally aren't though. Kind of depends on, where you're placed and things like that. Um, okay, actually, it says right here, students in any Faculty of Nursing U of A clinical placement do not receive any agency payment, what it states here. But I know there are programs in the U of A that you can get paid for. I'm just, yeah, not in nursing though, unfortunately. Um, Depending when you've taken them. So if you took summer and spring courses, for example, like before, like if you took it like last spring, they may count depending on how many credits you have. But if you're taking a spring course like right now, it won't count just because the deadline is June 15th. So it would not meet the cutoff essentially. But if you've taken them previously and it counts towards that 24 credits, then yes, they may be considered depending when you've taken them. It also depends if you are a current student here. If you are currently a U-based student, they will automatically get them. But if you are from a different institution, you will have to get them sent to us. Yeah, Teo, do you have that link to how to submit transcripts? If you don't, I can find it. I can send it to you too. There's a lot of web pages with a lot of information. So yeah, definitely click on all the links here. Um, if you find it, Teo, just let me know. And you can also upload them on your Launchpad as well. I know sometimes students do upload like unofficial transcripts just so like admissions kind of has an idea of like what to expect from you, but um you can also get like your official transcript and upload it to your Launchpad as well. But yeah, if you're a U of A student, no need to worry, it'll be sent automatically. And I believe I think if you're in Alberta too, it may be sent automatically as well. Yeah, it'll tell you on that link there. But yeah, I think anything outside of Alberta and then like outside of Canada, like you'll have to get them sent directly to us. And oh, another thing too, just so we have 1 minute. Um, if you're getting transcripts sent from elsewhere, please wait up to 3 weeks just for mailing time, processing time, things like that. Just because if you've sent them like say yesterday, for example, like give it about 3 weeks, and if you still don't see it on your Launchpad, then you can definitely contact us and let us know. But yeah, give it about that 3 week timeline and it should be on your Launchpad. All right, we are definitely at time here. Thanks everybody so much for coming for the presentation. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm so happy everyone had a good time. We definitely did. And like I said, feel free to ask us any questions, book an advising if you need. Definitely be happy to help you out here. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night.